All right, guys, welcome back to the segment. I hope you're doing well. So the NFF are back at it again with their search for the new head coach of Nigerian Super Eagles. As we draw closer to the October run of fixtures that we actually have 2 games in October. All of these games will be against Libya. It's still the African Cup of Nations qualifier series, and it's going to be the match day 3rd and match day 4th. The first leg, has been slated according to CAF calendar right now to be played on the 7th of October, which is like 3 weeks from now, and it's going to be played at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium, as Nigeria. And then the second leg is coming up on the 15th of same month, but this time, at the home of the Libya side in Tripoli. But there's been some push from NFF right now, based on the recent reports that they want to get a new permanent head coach for the Nigerian Super Eagles before these games, come up. Maybe even possibly get him as quickly as they can, so that this coach will be involved in the selection of these provisional players and then the final players for these games. And speaking of this, there's been a number of coaches that have sufficed as the guys that the NFF are actually considering. The NFF president, and the technical committee obviously have been, looking through a number of coaches, and this time there's a certain German tactician who goes by the name Winfried Schäfer. He's now been largely considered as a person that the NFF are actually considering getting this role. He's 74 years old. He's had lots of experience coaching, in different countries, different continents, different cultures. Also in Africa, which is also like one of the big advantages that the NFF are looking at him as a potential candidate to take over this role. So Schäfer was a player, and then later he got into coaching, and he's done extremely well for himself, even as a player and as a coach. But importantly, as a coach, I think the biggest selling point for him is that he had won the African Cup of Nations back in 2002 with Cameroon, which is like what gives him that experience in African football. But aside from that, this man has also been very experienced with club side. He's coached Borussia Dortmund, Stuttgart, among others, and also outside the shores of Germany. He's also coached the clubs in Asian League. His last job actually ended in November 2021, when he helped a certain Qatari club side, Al-Khor, survive the relegation. So this is the man that the NFF, according to the report right now, very, very interested in getting to become the man that replaces Eguavoen. But there is still cause for Eguavoen to be retained after he did really well, for these 2 games, helping us to stay top of the group with 4 points after 2 games. There's even reports right now that Eguavoen has started, the selection process of his initial provisional players for this October run of games. It's just 3 weeks away, which makes it not so far away. So he has already started getting these players ready to be invited, but we'll see what happens. Maybe NFF are able to pull this one through, but again, if you ask my opinion, I think it might not be. It may not come to reality that we see a permanent head coach before these October games. I think probably NFF is going to want to put faith in Eguavoen because he did really well, and they would want to allow him to stay at the helm for these games in October. But also I think they will be working in the background to try and get get a new permanent head coach, whether it's Schäfer or whether it's someone else, because we still know that their preference is to get a foreign coach, not a home-based coach. And the whole process of getting these coaches, especially foreign coach, is is not very easy. So I don't see them pulling that deal over the line or across the line before this October games. But let us leave that aside and talk briefly about players. Of course, this weekend was a really good weekend for our boys. I mean, we had a lot of great performance from our boys. You know, it was just so good to see. I was very happy over the weekend seeing these guys, the likes of Victor Boniface scoring 2 goals, getting 1 assist, Ademola Lookman getting a goal, getting an assist, Victor Osimhen almost getting a goal. You know, he actually thought he got that goal, and we thought he got that goal through his header, but then it was given to another player who apparently deflected it, you know. But again, great performances for these guys. Winfried did 2 assists, which is crazy. Saw the likes of Frank Onyeka and Osimhen also getting assists. So this is really nice for the Nigerian team, and it just goes to show you how informed they've become right now. And this all started from these 2 games that we played in the African Cup of Nations. You know, because immediately we played these games, they went back to their cup sides fired up, and they started doing some really nice things. We hope to see these runs continue up until, you know, October 7th, when we'll see them convene again at the Uyo Stadium to play for the Nigerian team against the Libyan side. And speaking of this Libyan side, there's actually a development on their end. They've now fired their head coach, who goes by the name Milutin Mitrosridovic. He's actually a Serbian coach who had been with their team. He actually started you know, this qualifier series with them. Played out the first game against Rwanda, drew that one, and then the last game which they played recently, they lost against Benin Republic 2-1. So the Libyan FA decided that this man is probably not going to be able to get them to qualify for Morocco 2024. So they had to fire the man. So they've now fired him recently, and they're looking at getting a new world-class coach that's going to get them victories against Nigeria. You know, of course, Libya is the team that we have next, you know, in our schedule coming up, as I said, on the 7th in Uyo, and then on the 15th later in Tripoli. So these guys are desperate right now. They sit, I wouldn't say sit pretty, but they sit disappointedly at the bottom of this group, of our group. You know, while we sit at the helm, they're actually sitting at the bottom with 1 point. But this is not what they want to see. They want to qualify for this Morocco 2025 Nations Cup. So, you know, they want to get a new head coach that's going to empower their team to get victory against Nigeria. Let's see how it goes for them. But of course, the Nigerians will still stand tall, you know, as the group toppers. We are still the biggest in Africa, the strongest, you know, not just for talking sake. We have the biggest squad, the best squad. It's all about these players coming out to, you know, to understand themselves and have a good director in the person of the manager to actually help them play well. And we've started to see that come out, you know, recently. So there's no fuss, no fear whatsoever. We'll see what this Libya side will be able to come up with, starting with the new coach appointment, because they look to want to appoint a new head coach before they come, you know, they come to Nigeria to play us on the 7th. But keep our fingers crossed, and everything that needs and every update that's coming out, I'll let you know about it, guys. Thanks for watching this one, and stay tuned, more videos coming shortly.